Hello, everyone. Back to the beginner session with Toddle. I'm Vakis, and I'm going to take you through a session today where we're going to talk a little bit about integrations. So as you probably know, Toddle connects to literally anything that has a REST API, and the places where that can't be used, we also support webhooks. So there's a ton of applications that you can connect to, and there's a lot of frequently asked questions around what can you connect to and who do you support? What can I use as my backend? And we want to, of course, provide a little bit of guidance. So what I've done here is I've copied some components from another page, and then we're going to create a component here under this div where we're going to showcase a different set of integrations that we pull directly from Contentful. So let's dive in. I'm going to add a div, and this div we're going to add in, let's do another div because we love divs in a divs in a div. And then in here, we're going to put in an image. We're also going to put in a paragraph, and we're going to copy this paragraph because we want another paragraph underneath. So we basically just click Command Z, and then click on the div and Command V, and then you've basically copy pasted it in. So now we have an image. We have 2 paragraphs of text. Doesn't look very cool. So what we're going to do here is we're going to create a repeat item. We're essentially telling the system that it should repeat data from an API, and it should do it in this card. So if there's 10 items from the API, it will show this item 10 different times with different items. So we're going to repeat, we're going to click, we're going to find the API that we've set up to do this. If you want to see more on how you set up an API, check out Andrea's video on Contentful. There is a ton of information where he slowly goes through like how to set everything up. Today, we're going to cheat a little bit, put in the integration. Oh, I'm going to do it again. Put in the integration, say data, and then items, because then we're going to repeat these items. All right, that's it. All we need to do here. Now we need to click on the image because we want to find the image from the API, and we're going to look that up. So the way we do that is click on images, click on attributes, and then here you have the source. That's the one that we want to dynamically change based on the item. We're going to click on the formula button. We're going to click here. We're going to pull in the integrations API. We are going to do data and then includes an asset because we need an asset. And then what we're going to do is we're going to click this little plus here. We are going to find the item that we're looking for. And then we need to find an item that equals what we're looking at, because otherwise it's just going to repeat itself. So what we're going to do is we're going to look up the item, sys, the ID, and that needs to match the repeat item that we have. And that should be fields, partner logo, sys ID. Now we're telling if this ID needs to match this, and then it pulls the image. What we also need to do is we need to go in and do a get, because we need to get something from an array. And we're going to type that in. And the array is structured in the way that we have fields. And I'm getting it. Oops. Fields. And then we have file. And then we have URL. And then it should fetch the image that we're looking for. Woohoo! Xano, it worked. So now we have an image here. It's very large. We're going to adjust this later. But next thing that we want to do is we want to make sure that we have a headline for this image. So you can, like, obviously it's a Xano, so it's Xano, but like it might just be a logo. And in those cases, we want to be explicit with who the integration partner is. So we're going to open up the formula editor, click item, And then we're gonna do, I think it's fields and then integration name. And that should post Sano, which it does. Does it do that here as well? Yeah. Now we have a little headline. And then we're going to get some description in because we also want to show a description. And again, you just click on the text that you want to edit and then click on the formula editor so you can do it dynamically. Choose the repeat item. And then in the repeat item, fields and then integrations description. And then let's see, is it data? No. Is it node type? Document? No. Then let's do content. Third time's the charm. No. Content, 0. Content, 0. Value? Yeah, amazing. Sometimes you have to dig a little bit around because it's based on how the API is structured. So yeah, it was pretty difficult to find this one. But anyways, now we have a ton of different logos. They're way too big. We don't want them to look like this. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to tweak should we tweak the div here and then say this one. And then say the width should be 400. That looks pretty good, doesn't it? And then we want this div to show the layout this way. Boop. Because I want to see them on a line. It might just be because this is 100% width. We don't want that to be the case. Let's do this and then do max width. Min max width. Let's do 1038 pixels. It's totally wrong, but I just want to see what is there. And then this div should be, I don't know why it's complaining. Maybe we should have done the repeat item down here. Let's try to do the repeat item down here. See if I just made a massive mistake. I probably did. Integrations, and then data, items. I did make a mistake. So we're going to just delete this one. And now it looks exactly, well, not exactly how we want it, but it looks kind of like how we want it. So I'm going to remove the max width on this one. And then I'm going to instead put in a gap of large. That looks kind of okay. And then we're going to do a wrapper on this one. Let's check it out. Yeah, now we're talking. So now what we did was we put a wrapper on it. And I'm just going to do this instead. Okay. So we have a wrapper on it, making it go to the next line if it goes sideways, because if otherwise it's just going to repeat out of the picture. We don't want that. So these images are a bit too big for what we're looking at. So I might want to do this slightly smaller. So let's do 200. I think that might work. 200 pixels. That's way too small. So 300. That looks better. And then the gap that we want, I might want to see what happens if I do little. And then I want to do 250 because I actually want 4 of these, I think. 250. Boom. There we go. Looks a little better. Some of the text isn't showing correctly. We'll figure out why that is. But here we go. We've got a bunch of things. Let's actually do 300. It looks better. And then the gap, we're gonna make all of these go a little closer together, and we're gonna make a gap larger. So there we go. Next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna do an outline on this of, let's say, we've got a nice color scheme here. So gray 700. That makes it a little more distinguishable between the different elements. So that's cool. Let's do that. The next thing that we're going to do is I might want to put tiny bit of shadow on. Oh, not gray like that. I want to put it like that. And this looks pretty decent. Now, the other thing I want to make sure is that all of the images sit okay. So I'm going to do an object fit, and then I'm going to do cover, because then in all cases, it will show like it's centered. So, but this actually looks pretty decent. We're going to add a small padding to the bottom, because otherwise, I mean, they will be so close to each other. So let's do margin here, bottom. We're going to do little. Then there's a bit more space between that. That's nice to see. We're going to do the same here, where we're going to do margin and we're going to do little, because then this also has a bit space. We want to see a difference between these two. So I'm going to change the text size to, we've got, let's do small. And then the text size of this, I want to be extra small. That way it's not so crowded. It's still a little bit crowded, but not so crowded. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to also add padding to this one. Actually, let's be consistent, do margin and then little. Cool. So now we have, actually don't want to do that at all. I'm going to go up on the actual div, and then I'm going to put padding at the bottom, because then it'll be the same everywhere. Great. Okay. This looks great. I might want to change the amount of lines. There are some that have 4 lines instead of 3. So that can be fixed. But let's see here. This looks pretty decent, no? That's how you set it up to pull from the API. And you can look at what it looks like by clicking the play button. And then you have, you can, well, now you can't scroll because I pulled it all the way down, but let me go up and put it in view. That's kind of a cool feature built into Toddle. It's like you can see what it would look like on the screen. So if you click play, you just scroll up and down and you can see all the different integrations that we have. Cool. That was it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. And please, if you have any questions around anything, like just ask away. The more requests, the merrier. Thanks for watching. Bye.